It's time now for Better Money. Today, we pose the question, should I take early retirement? And what should you be thinking to actually answer that question? Joel Johnson has some ideas, and he's a certified financial planner and managing partner at Johnson-Brunetti. Retirement certainly sounds good, but maybe you want to ask some questions first.
Sounds great. We want to make sure we're prepared. You want to make sure you're not going to run out of money in retirement. So these are some of the things you can be asking yourself and analyzing to make sure that if you have an early retirement offer, or even if you're forced to retire early, that you're actually ready and able to do that.
Number one, know the provisions of your pension plan, if you have one.
Right. You want to know if you have a pension plan, what are the provisions of it? What are some of the choices? Sometimes you can choose to include your spouse so that if you die first and your spouse still survives, they continue to get that pension. You want to know those provisions. There are other pension plans, interestingly enough, Kara, that if you retire before Social Security age, you get a higher amount out of your pension until you collect Social Security, and then the pension adjusts downward, but because of the increase in Social Security, you're still okay. So there are all kinds of options in pensions that people need to explore, and the Human Resources Department at our companies, they can't give us advice. They're not supposed to. So many times it takes doing a good web search or even talking to a financial professional to make sure you maximize those pension benefits.
And what will you have for benefits if you retire early? You want to know that number.
Right. What are the other benefits? Not just pension benefits, but health benefits. What kind of obligations will you have? Will you have other costs that creep in because you're retired, or will you have costs that go away because you're retired? You might not commute as much, so maybe your travel costs go down. It's important to do a good analysis of the things that'll change.
And then you want to estimate your income that you'll need to continue your standard of living.
Right, and many times in that first year, you're ballparking. People just don't know. Okay. So what we tell families when we counsel them about retiring is, we're not going to know. Tell us what you think you want, or tell us what you're living on now while you're working. That's the standard we start, and then we just revisit that after a year. They might think they're going to travel all the time and end up not doing it. Or they might think they can live on, say, 75% of their working income, and all of a sudden they decide they love to travel, they love to do things with the grandkids, and they're spending all kinds more money. So give yourself the room to readjust, but have an estimate for yourself so you can do a good retirement income analysis.
All right, and then you want to know what your Social Security benefits will be.
Right, and you can get a good estimate on Social Security by the Social Security Administration right online. You can actually plug in your own information, and they'll give you the estimates on, if I retire at 62 or 66 or 70 years old, what your Social Security benefits will be. So understand that, come up with a good retirement income plan, and we have a great resource for people. It's the book called Forced to Retire. And the book Forced to Retire, it talks about, from the standpoint of if you're offered an early retirement plan, or if you're forced to retire early, what are the main things, what are the 7 things you need to get a handle on to make that decision, make it best for you. And it's here for our viewers. They can just let us know they want it, we'll send it to them.
It's absolutely free. So if you want that book, Forced to Retire, just email bettermoney@wfsb.com. You can also ask a question or just say you want the book, and Joel and your team, will get that to our viewers.
It's great, and we'll answer every single email question that comes in on this topic or any others.
All right, thank you so much, Joel. That's Better Money.